I have always believed the woods were quiet, peaceful places. Places where the world's chaos couldn't reach you. But after what happened out there in the national forest, I can't think about trees or trails, or even the sound of wind through leaves without my stomach knotting and my skin crawling. I haven't gone back, and I never will. It started with four of us: myself, Tyler, Jake, and Emily. We'd all been friends since high school. We drifted in and out of each other's lives as work and responsibilities piled up. But every year or two, we carved out time for a camping trip. Something simple, something cheap. Just the woods, a fire, and some beers. This year, though, Jake had pushed for something different. Let's do something off-grid, he'd said. None of that campground crap with picnic tables and neighbors 5 feet away. Just us in the wild. It'll be beautiful. Beautiful. That's the word he'd used. At the time, it sounded perfect. We packed up and drove deep into the forest. I remember how the paved road slowly turned to gravel, then dirt, and eventually into nothing but two faint tracks, disappearing between trees that looked thicker and older than any I'd ever seen. Emily was the first to get nervous. "You sure we're not trespassing?" she asked, chewing her lip. Jake laughed. "Nope, totally legal. Just not a lot of people know about it. It'll be perfect." By the time we parked and hiked in, we were at least 5 miles from the nearest maintained trail. Everything felt different there, quieter, heavier somehow, like the air itself didn't move the same way. We found a clearing surrounded by towering pines, their branches knotted high above us. We set up camp, tent, fire pit, the works. Tyler cracked open the first beer and joked, "If we get murdered out here, nobody will ever find us." Emily gave him a look. I laughed nervously. Looking back, I wish we'd listened to that part of ourselves that was unsettled. The first night was normal enough. We cooked, told old stories, passed around a bottle of whiskey, and eventually crawled into our tents. The forest was alive with the sounds you'd expect: crickets, owls, something moving in the brush that was probably just a raccoon. But sometime deep in the night, I woke up. At first I thought it was just nature calling, but then I realized what had pulled me from sleep. Silence. Not the gentle hush of the woods, absolute silence. No crickets, no wind, no movement. Just a dead stillness pressing against my ears. And then came the sound. A low, rolling noise from far off in the trees. Not quite a growl, not quite a scream. Something in between, deeper than anything I'd ever heard in nature. It made my chest vibrate. It came again, closer this time. Long, deliberate, dragging through the night air. My brain scrambled for answers. Bear, mountain lion. Nope. This was wrong. Too loud, too unnatural. Tyler hollered from the other tent. "You hear that?" Jake muttered something. Emily didn't say a word. We didn't sleep much after that. The next morning we tried to shake it off, and Tyler swore it was a bear. Jake teased me for looking pale. Emily just kept glancing into the trees, like she expected to see something watching us. We went for a short hike, cooked some food, tried to convince ourselves it was nothing. But as night fell again, unease settled over everything. The firelight barely reached the edges of the clearing. Every flicker of shadow looked like movement. Every gust of wind sounded like something exhaling. And then the noises started again. Snapping branches, heavy, deliberate footsteps circling just outside the fire's glow. Tyler grabbed a flashlight, swept it across the trees. Nothing there. Just blackness between trunks. But the sounds didn't stop. They moved, circled, drew closer. And then we saw it. At first, just the reflection of eyes, not like a deer's eyes. These were a pale yellow, almost gold, sickly, set far apart, too high off the ground. They blinked, then vanished into the dark. Emily panicked. She wanted to leave right then. Jake argued it was worse to stumble through unmarked forest in the middle of the night. We stayed, but the creature wasn't going anywhere. After midnight, it began to make itself known. The growl again, rolling out of the trees, followed by a wet clicking sound like bones being tapped together. Then it screamed, not like an animal, like a person. A long, distorted shriek that ripped through the trees and made every hair on my body stand on end. Tyler shouted, throwing a rock into the woods, as if that would scare it away. Instead, something answered. A rush of movement, impossibly fast, circling us, stopping just out of sight. The trees shook. And then the smell, metallic, like copper, mixed with the sour stench of decay. We ran. No plan, no direction, just pure survival. Emily's flashlight bounced wildly. Tyler yelled, "Stick together!" Jake cursed under his breath. And behind it all, the pounding of something huge crashing through the forest after us. I caught a glimpse in the beam of light. Pale skin stretched tightly over a long, gaunt frame. Arms dragging close to the ground. Ribs jutting out with every heaving breath. And a head that looked wrong, too narrow, too elongated. Its mouth splitting open wider than it should have. Jagged, uneven teeth glistening. It was starving. Tyler went down first. 1 second he was ahead of me, then gone. Yanked into the dark with a scream that cut off too fast. Something wet splattered across my face. I knew it was blood. Emily sobbed behind me. Jake pulled her forward. But it didn't matter. The creature was playing with us, driving us deeper into the woods. Every time we thought we'd lost it, it reappeared ahead, behind. That clicking sound echoing. Impossible to know where it really was. Jake was next. He pushed Emily toward me. Shouted, "Go! I'll distract it!" He charged into the dark with nothing but a stick. Branches snapped. Then silence. Emily and I ran until our lungs burned, until our legs gave out. We collapsed near a creek. The forest was quiet again, but not natural quiet. It was like the whole world holding its breath. Emily clung to me, whispering, We have to keep moving. But then the smell, blood and decay, those yellowish eyes glowing across the creek. Emily screamed. A blur of pale limbs. The sound of flesh tearing. Hot spray across my face. And then nothing. When I woke up, it was daylight and I was alone. I staggered through the forest until I found the trail. By some miracle, a ranger spotted me. I told him everything, but I could see the doubt in their eyes. A few days later, they said a hiker found remains. Torn apart, scattered, unrecognizable except for scraps of clothing. The official report blamed a bear. That's what they told the families. That's what they told the press. But I know the truth. And if you ever find yourself deep in those woods and the night suddenly goes still and you hear that bone clicking sound, run. Don't look back, because it's still out there and it's hungry.